Two people are dead. Another essentially, according to reports, had his bicep blown off after encountering an individual that has been reported to be defending private property. This individual is 17 years old, apparently had a long rifle. We're unsure if this was a family business. We're unsure if he was just there. I'm not an attorney. I don't know the applicable laws for this situation, but essentially there's been widespread destruction in Kenosha from what I've been seeing. It appears that we've had businesses completely destroyed. The violence earlier, apparently what had ended up happening is you had protests. Again, there's plenty of peaceful protesters out there. However, we know that there are individuals, and I'm hearing reports that some of these individuals may have not even been able to pronounce the name of Kenosha. That would leave one to believe that you got folks from out of town coming around starting problems. Somebody that used to be in the, we'll go with the bar scene industry. Yeah, usually after closing time, when most folks clear out. Let's just say usually got the workers, and then you got some troublemakers. Trouble isn't always bad, but in this case, people are dead. Businesses are destroyed. People have lost their livelihoods. Yeah, you have insurance. Is it necessarily going to cover everything? No. Insurance has to make money as well. Folks, we got Americans killing other Americans. Pain begets pain. Hatred breeds hatred. Violence spawns violence. This is the cycle, and it's just continuing again and again. What can we do about it? We have to do something. We need change. We don't just need change for change's sake. We need meaningful change. We actually need to correct these issues so we can stem the tide of hatred. Because right now, folks frickin' hate each other. It's so frickin' bad, and just the amplification of social media and everything. This in your face, this in your face. Is it true? Who frickin' knows? Sometimes it is, and then there are plenty of stories we also don't hear about. At the same time, I'm sitting back, I'm like, well, who knows the name Tony Tempa? It doesn't even really ring a bell to me. Apparently, he was another individual that lost his life at the hands of the police. I'm pretty sure he was white. This is the thing. Yeah, we need to call out racial injustice. At the same time, part of me is almost like, wait a second. Maybe if we had seen this, and it doesn't always seem like it's a person of color on the other end there, maybe be like, oh, maybe this is a problem for frickin' everybody. When it comes to the point where you can literally have that Family Guy episode, where they basically have the police van. It's an automatic police van. It has AI and everything. And Peter and Quagmire, they're going there, oh, it's giving them a wedgie and everything. And then Cleveland comes up, and it's like, minority alert. And it's beating the frickin' crap out of him. And we laugh. Maybe awkwardly. But that's humorous. Why? Well, it's calling out something that seems to be subtle, that apparently not everyone, but I don't know, as a society, do we just kind of assume that's the thing? The sheer fact that we even think about that, I don't know, is that telling of something? I don't know. I agree with Shaq. I think we need more community policing where folks actually know people, because it seems to happen in Kenosha. It's got 100,000 people. It's basically around the size of my city. It's like, yeah, that's a lot of folks. But then again, at the same time, I'm like, doesn't have millions. It also doesn't have like 5,000. We also had additional information coming in. So basically, with Mr. Blake, he seems to be conscious. He seems to be partially paralyzed. And according to, it seems, Broadcastify, basically they ended up having a police scanner. So apparently it was reported that basically Mr. Blake had taken somebody's keys. and that they weren't supposed to be there. The conversation continued onward. Apparently, the officers shortly before arriving were advised that basically individual did have, I believe, a Class G felony, and there had been prior incidents. So if you have officers going in and they're unsure what may have happened, again, you reportedly, it seems like one of the officers was saying drop the knife. Do we necessarily know that there was a weapon or anything? I have yet to see that. We're going to continue to follow that because you see a man getting shot in the back. Like I said, we see the cowardly and we've seen it before. We saw an officer shoot a man in the back. It wasn't that long ago. Was it an altercation with the officer? Yeah. My other question is, why is this happening? Where is the lack of education or additional training required to prevent this stuff? To prevent an officer from having to go for their service arm. Apparently, Mr. Blake was also tased at one point. I didn't see any additional information. I heard that had happened. And again, what I'm hearing is, tasers, yeah, you get 3 shots. How effective are they? Well, apparently not enough. What are the reasons for all this? I have no freaking idea. These are things we got to figure out. And again, I stand by, if we had universal badge cams, if you knew you weren't necessarily going to get screwed over and that somebody could lie and basically ruin your life, I tend to think things would be a little bit different. But that's all I got for now. Heading down to see if I can get some man on the street footage from an anti-Biden rally. Found out about it within a social justice group, and be safe, everybody.